Okay, hi, welcome to Cherie's Weight Loss Journey. Me and the Snoopy baby, we are out here by the lake. It's pretty close to sunrise. It's beautiful out here. It's nice and cool. It's like the first day we had that didn't have rain. Well, first morning, right? We've had morning rain. Seems like we've had rain every day, even though it's warm, right? We're quickly approaching the summer equinox. Yes. Um, so I'm not sure if the ground is still wet from morning dew or from the rain. Probably both. But yes, it's beautiful up here. Very beautiful. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Give you a panoramic view. For sure. I do see that there's some chemtrails in the sky, but hopefully, most will enjoy before the sun gets blocked. Thankfully, we have a beautiful breeze out here. Temperature is just absolutely beautiful. Look at the wildflowers. It's just beautiful, right? Yes, very beautiful. Like that one, and this one, and those, and those. Yes, very beautiful. Oh, look at these. Amazing. Amazing. Didn't God do it? God did it. God did it. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Yep. You wouldn't think that it was 7 o'clock in the morning, but it is. Look at all these people out here. 7 o'clock in the morning. This way. Every day could feel like today. It would be worth getting up early every morning. Hold on. They even got people running way across the lake over there. Yeah. Might as well. Especially if you might live to 99 years old or 120. You even get groups of people. As a former runner, I feel left out. I do. Take another beautiful look here. La, 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 la. Now, having lived in California for 12 years, I ain't gonna lie. Before I left California 30 years ago, the smog was so thick that you couldn't really even see the sun. Not really. Okay? So we have to recognize that, you know, we need to, be flexible enough to make adjustments. And then, when the adjustments aren't needed, you can go back to the way things maybe used to be or incorporate something different. Right? Okay. So yeah, that was a nice walk. It was invigorating. Yeah. A lot of people out there running and walking, riding their bicycles, just lifing, I have been watching some videos about bodybuilding. I have. Right? And I'll tell you, the most appealing thing about the videos that I was watching was, of course, to have a flat torso, and secondly, to get rid of the chipmunk jaws. I mean, I would do it just to get rid of that. Yeah, get rid of the belly and the jowls. Heck yeah, I would think about doing it. Right now, thinking about it is just like the initiation. You have to have a plan and discipline in order to actually do it. Yeah. Now, after I watched these videos about women bodybuilders, bodybuilding, which was mostly men, I watched a headline that came up where it has stated that these female bodybuilders, these women bodybuilders, that they had taken it too far and had died as a result. I wasn't ready to watch it yet. I was not ready to watch that. But it's on my mind, to watch it at some time in the future. Should I actually think about doing, bodybuilding? at my grown-up age, really, I just like being strong, to be honest. I just like being strong. I mean, sure, it would also be nice to be, have a beautiful body. Yeah, that would be beautiful. Right? You can put on anything and it would look great because you're wearing the clothes, not the clothes wearing you. I can't even tell you how hard it is to even contemplate living to 99 years old when, World War III is like looming over us. I just can't. It's hard. It's hard, right? And then when it's not World War III, then it's like, okay, automation is here whether we like it or not. It's here. Back in the day, they used to pretend that, automation was here, but they really had a whole bunch of employees making it appear as if it was automation. But now, real automation is here. And those who know, you know what I'm talking about. So, what do you do when, employers would rather have robots and computers? What does the mass population do? Right? Because it just seems like the alternative is some type of socialism or some type of communism or some type of, welfare system in which, people can still survive even though robots and automation is doing all of the work. Right? Now, the solution that most people have is that everybody would get into a form of a broadcasting, motivational speaking, workouts, personal trainers. They'll always have a need for teachers and tutors and that's just not going to stop. It's not. But when we're in a depression or a long economic recession, you know, they're not going to invest in everybody having these master degrees and these doctorates and maybe not even bachelor degrees, because I'm kind of shocked and appalled that you would have people with bachelors and masters and doctorates who don't even know how to run a business. It's like, how you got a master's and you don't have the ability to create and maintain a business. I mean, that just blows me away. Even a bachelor's, you got to have at least the the basics of what it takes, to run a business. A tradesperson can run a business, right? They know. You do the work, you get paid, and then you pay your taxes. Very simple. But simple doesn't mean easy. So the common people shouldn't be just left out, forgotten about, as if, they're not important, right? I can say that this Gemini season has been the most communicative season that I've seen so far. Okay? Yes. It seemed like everybody had something to say. And it's not like you want to discount what people have to say. It's just that, nobody really wants to hear a bunch of insults. Nobody wants to hear ideals that weren't researched or thought out, and then people will get dismissive, and the ones that get dismissive, they get angry and maybe even violent. Okay? So, and honestly, The only time people get violent is when they don't feel like they've been heard. And then the second reason, the reason why people get violent is when they don't listen. Because communication is a whole balance of not just speaking, but also listening. Otherwise, it's just a monologue. Okay? So, as a senior citizen, I feel like it's really, really, really sad when I see that young people, you know, they're not aware that, you know, they're going to live until 99 and 120 years old, and they're not living their life at least being healthy till you get that age, right? You're taking yourself out with drugs. You're taking yourself out with, you know, not having a health routine that you maintain every day. So yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Because you almost don't even believe it. You don't believe it until, boom, you get there. You get there and you're like, damn. You know, you're 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, and you really thought it was going to be different, right? And sure enough, there are some people who don't wake up to see that age. But there's so many people who are, and who will in the future. If we don't have World War III. Now, you know, if we have, you know, World War III, you know, rioting and chaos and civil war in the streets, you know, yeah, you know, that changes. That changes for sure. Right? If we have so much radiation from bombs and stuff in the air, people start, you know, having DNA damage, organ damage. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. It won't be pretty for the ones that get that kind of damage. It won't. So anyway, headed back to the house, and we're so revitalized from having taken our walk early in the morning and seeing all of those vibrant people out there walking and running and riding their bikes. It was so beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. It's a shame that people who have been rioting and carrying on and who want war, you know, those places, you know, those people are not out there jogging and running and taking vitalizing walks. They're living in fear. I can't even imagine what it's like to live in having sirens going off day and night, warning people that they're being bombed. I just can't. I mean, it's worse. It's bad enough to have those sirens going off, because an abduction or because weather is really bad and there's a tornado in their neighborhood, right? Wow. Yeah. So even the aliens have restrictions on how much they can actually interfere with human beings, right? Kind of like in Star Trek, right? Again, Star Trek, right? Light medicine, light medicine, aliens not able to, interfere with free will, stuff like that, yeah. Hold on. And I always used to laugh when Dr. McCoy used to say, they're so barbaric.